Welcome to Forks and Franchise, the podcast where we'll dive into the savory world of restaurant franchise success. I'm your host, Caleb Clark, and I'm here to serve up the juiciest success stories, industry insights, and the secret sauce behind building a thriving restaurant franchise. Join us as we explore the world of restaurant franchising one episode at a time. Stay tuned and get ready to feast your ears on Forks and Franchise, presented by MTY Group. I am here with my guest, Amarjeet Dhaliwal, multi-location franchisee with the Jugo Juice brand. Amarjeet, welcome.
Hi, Caleb. It's really nice to be here with you to talk about Jugo Juice. It's my pleasure.
Awesome. Here's how I want to start. I want you to bring us all the way back to when you were first thinking about buying into the brand and becoming a business owner and a franchisee. You know, what was the feeling you had back then? What was maybe the one or two things that finally pushed you over the edge and I'm going to do this? Bring us back to the beginning.
I'll start all the way from beginning when I came to Canada. I came to Canada in 1999 as an immigrant and started working at airport as a cashier and made my way up to multi-unit manager. And it was in 2006 when I came across this opportunity where this Jugo Juice location was on sale at Calgary Airport. And now being at the airport, I knew about the brand, how the brand is doing and what kind of product they have. And I have always loved going to Jugo Juice for my smoothie and my wrap. And I like the idea of franchising because I feel that everything is ready to go when you are going with franchise. I decided to go with this particular franchise because first I like the brand and secondly the location. I really like the location itself. And I always think that going with franchise is way better than having your own brand because you're under this umbrella where everything is provided to you. All you have to do is follow the policies and procedure and you're good.
Yeah. Now, I would assume that even though there's policies and procedures, you still need to be a very active business owner. How has that evolved for you over time? And is it everything that you thought it was going to be in terms of how much work it really takes to run your own business like this?
Actually, yes, you're right. You have to be actively involved, even though it's a franchise business and you think everything is provided, but you still have to be active working in your store at least 8 hours. But I remember when I first bought my first store, I was working 16 hours a day. From 4 a.m. in the morning till 8 p.m. every day. Probably I did that for around 6 to 9 months because at that time there was like employment crunch and it was very hard to find employees, and especially at airport when our stores open at 4 in the morning and there's no transit for that time. The first employee who takes transit could reach at airport at 6:30 in the morning. So I was the only one who was driving and I had to be there at 4 a.m. every morning to open my store. I worked like full time continuously in my stores for first 3 years, I will say.
Yeah.
Not 7 days a week, but yeah, first 6 to 9 months, I worked 7 days a week.
Wow. So you knew the task and you were up to it and you've lived that. That's awesome. Now, can you tell me, did it start with one store and then when did the second store come along and why was that the decision for you?
So when I bought my first store, I had this vision that I wanted to have a Jugo Juice in each concourse at airport. So some people get surprised. They think, oh, why are there 5 Jugo Juices at airport? Right. It's one airport, but because there are different areas in airport, concourse A, concourse B, C, D, and E, and they're separate areas. So when passengers are in that area, they're there. They cannot go to any other gates. And I had this vision that I wanted to see Jugo Juice in each concourse when I opened my first location. And with that vision, I was talking to authorities and of course with the head office help, I was able to open my second location in 2009. That was in Concourse C. And the third one was at Arrival Jugo Juice. Right. And the fourth one was in 2011 in Concourse A in the Westjet area. And in 2016, when the new terminal opened at Calgary Airport, the international wing, we were able to secure a location in Concourse E, the transborder area. And this is how we had like 5 locations at our Calgary Airport.
That's very unique. Very cool. You talk about being a fan of the smoothies and of the food, and you were interested in the brand. What were some of the other reasons why you decided on Jugo Juice? And was there a conversation with MTY about there's lots of different options, but why was it Jugo Juice for you, beside your personal taste for the product?
At that time, MTY was not around.
Okay.
It was back in 2006, and Jugo Juice was still. It was owned by the founders of Jugo Juice, which is Jason and Derek. So they had this brand, they invented this brand, and they had this brand, I believe, until 2011. So around 2012 when MTY took over Jugo Juice.
Yeah.
And at that time, I met Jason and Derek in the office, and then I come to know more about the brand. And smoothies were really the thing at that time, where people were moving more towards healthy options versus having no offense to other brands, but of course, instead of fried food at Jugo Juice, we have like healthier options like smoothies and grilled wraps. And I'm very fond of a healthy concepts, and that really made me fan of Jugo Juice itself.
Yeah.
That was another reason why I decided to go with Jugo Juice.
That's great. So as a personal preference, you saw the trends, you wanted to be a part of that. Was there anything at the beginning that you were super unsure about, or maybe even fearful about, that you can remember that you can share with me? And how do you feel about those early fears now?
Honestly, I was not fearful about anything, because I had confidence with the brand and about the location, because I was working at airport, like it was in 2006, and I started working at airport in about 2000. So I knew the potential of the location, about the traffic, and I have seen, even when I was working at a Relay newsstand as a manager, I had seen passengers carrying Jugo Juice smoothies while going to the plane and having food. So I knew it's a popular thing, and everyone is going to love it. So I had no fears about it.
That's awesome. Maybe that's what's required. No fears. I'm curious about the relationships that you've developed over time, and starting with your employees. Like, the people are what make up any effective business, as we all know. But how do you manage your team today? How do you motivate them? And what does your relationship that has evolved over time look like with the people that make up your stores?
You know what? I agree with you. People are the key of any business, and I always think that happy staff is a productive staff. And I always make sure that they're happy, and I'm giving them a happy environment to work. I've been fortunate to have long-term employees working with me. Most of my girls are working with me for 10 plus years.
Wow.
I have a girl, she's working with me since 2008 till now.
That's crazy.
And sometimes she tells me, her family teases her sometimes, "Oh, are you going to retire from Jugo Juice?" Because it's about 16 years she's working with me, since 16 years. And I feel that, it's a lot about relationship. I make sure that I give them an environment that they love. And it's more like it's a family, where we're like a family at Jugo Juice. I always tell them that I'm not only your employer, consider me, part of your team. We all are a team, and they're comfortable with me sharing any of their problems, not just work-related problems. Sometimes they have anything other than work. They always come to me, "Hey, I had this thought, but I thought I'll share with you. Can you help me with this?" And I'm always there for them.
Yeah.
And providing them flexible schedules, and sometimes they have babysitting issues. I'll always make sure, if someone has having a problem, all of a sudden, if one of my staff members' husband's shift is changed to nights, and she comes to me, oh my God, now I have a problem, and I was like, no worries, we can alter your schedule, and they're very happy when I do that. And sometimes my staff decided, oh, I want to do some part-time school, but it's going to be very hard for me, and I was like, no worries, I can provide you shifts that's gonna work with your school schedule.
Wow.
I feel these things really, really help them with them to stay here at Jugo Juice. And for me, I feel long-term employees, because they have lots of experience working with customers, working with Jugo Juice menu, and it is always a grateful for me to have them working for me for a long time.
That's great. It sounds like a very special relationship you've curated with your team. Was that how you approached things from day one back in 2008, or is this something that you've learned and evolved with over time?
It's since day one, because this is what I have experienced. When I came to Canada, my first job was at McDonald's, and then I started working at airport. I also started my business management at the same time. I went to SAIT to finish that. My manager at that time, she used to give me schedule based on my classes.
Right.
So I'm grateful to her, like till now. Because my classes used to switch. So in some semesters I had like morning classes, and then next semester I get classes in the afternoon. And then I was like request my schedule to be altered based on my classes.
Right.
And I was always given the shifts that suited me. And I felt that, I owe that back to my employees, what was given to me when I was going to school. And I've always kept that in mind to provide that kind of flexibility to my staff.
Good for you. That's fantastic. You remember how that felt, and so you wanted
Yes.
to pass that.
Yes.
Now, this is an interesting one. The relationship that you have with your community and your customers, and the reason why I say it's maybe interesting is that, if you have a standalone store that's outside the airport, over time you start to see the same faces, the same personalities. Now, with your community, it's very transient, right? People are coming and going, and sometimes I imagine, a lot of brand new faces. Despite that, how have you sort of developed community with your customers today, and how do you think about that?
Actually, we do have some regulars.
Yeah.
I know at airport it sounds strange, but we do have some regulars. They call themselves like Monday morning Jugo Classical guy. So sometimes he leave a special note with girls that thank you for being here at 4 a.m. When it's a snowstorm outside, and making me my Jugo Classical, because he's flying every Monday morning for work.
Right.
There are many other customers we see who are regular, and we have like a special bond with them. Like when girls know that he's coming, he's in line, and they already start like blending his smoothie. Here you go, your drink is ready. I think that's a beautiful bond we share with our customers. And other than that, we do a junior Jugo program where we provide school lunches. Although it's something we do outside the airport, but we still participate in that program where kids would come to know about Jugo Juice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, as a franchisee, speaking to other potential new franchisees, can you talk about how critically important relationship with community and customers is, as compared to just fulfilling the order, giving the product, and moving on?
I think it is very, very important, because sometimes customers are not just coming for food and a drink. They're also coming there, to have a good day, to socialize, and giving them a environment and a platform where they could come and talk not just about food and drink, as I mentioned earlier. It can be also about sharing ideas and sharing things like that. For example, during COVID, when actually 80% of the airport was closed, only 2 of my locations were open. Customers were still like, only I would say 5% of the people were flying at that time, and they were stopping by and talking, and it felt so good to connect at that time, when Nobody wanted to socialize. It was, at that time was so scary. Nobody wanted to even like go near the airport,
Right.
considering the COVID time. But it was really good to connect with them, where it was giving me and my staff opportunity to talk to them, and even they had this opportunity to connect.
That's great. Yeah. It's so much the platform that the business gives you is so much more than fulfilling people's hunger, right? And if you can see it that way, I think you end up with a much more successful business. So congratulations. That's awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
The last category of stakeholders that you have relationship with that I'm curious about from you is your team at MTY, the point people that you go to for support, for fulfilling of your daily needs from a food ordering standpoint, but even maybe other areas of coaching and support. Tell me about that relationship. What does that look like for you?
Actually, it has been awesome. It has been great. I will say MTY, the head office has been very, very supportive, especially Maria. She's a vice president for Sugar Juice, and Daphne James, she's my district manager. They have been great support to me. Anytime, if I need anything, just a text message, they're always there for me. It could be in regards to, for example, Daphne, she's my district manager. If I'm having any issues with products, we were facing supply chain issues after COVID. She would always make sure to get back to me with solutions to my problems. And Maria, she is the best VP I have ever dealt with. I would say it's been 18 years for me in franchise business. Last to last year, I was renewing my leases with airport and needed new franchise agreements. I had this word from Maria, like, call me anytime you need me. I'll answer your phone and I'll make sure that you're getting all the required paperwork you need. That was such a relief for me to hear from her. And she made sure to provide me all the documents I needed in timely manner.
Yeah.
And really, she pushed things to make sure that we can move forward, in a timely manner for renovations of my existing locations, because we had to renovate in timely manner because the airport wanted us to get all the renovations done. At that time, Maria's support was tremendous. I couldn't have done this without her.
I can imagine just the topic that you described there. That would be pretty stressful. You got to think about all these different things you got to do, and to have that support, I imagine felt quite good. Based on your experience, what tips or advice would you give a potential brand new franchisee when it comes to leaning into the relationship with head office, with MTY in this case? Maybe something that new franchisees wouldn't know, but what advice would you give based on your lived experience?
I would say it is very, very important to maintain the relationship with MTY, as well as your landlord, and keep doing what you're supposed to do right things, follow the standards, because at the end of the day, it's one brand, and it is very important that we stay consistent with the brand. Offering the quality products to our customers is very, very important. I always make sure I stress on this thing to my staff all the time. If a customer is coming to us with something in his mind that he's coming here for a quality protein shake, and we want to make sure that we are giving him the quality protein shake, and he's getting the value of the money he's spending at our store. And I would give this message to all the franchisees to make sure we are keeping up with the standards. It is very, very important. This is for all the customers who are coming to us with this, with the expectations. We should be meeting their expectations.
Yeah.
And if we do this, I think the relationship would stay perfectly fine with MTY and with the landlord.
Right.
We're doing things what we're supposed to do.
Makes sense, right? Is there anything that you've leaned on other than, your standard training and hiring the right people? Anything else that you've relied on to mitigate those concerns or challenges, the feelings around are things being done right? Or do you just heavily rely on a solid hiring system and adherence to a proper training system. What is it for you that makes you feel better about that?
Yes, I do. I make sure that, when I'm hiring the right people, I think that that's the first step, I would say. And training is the second step for them. If I have, people who are fully trained and people who want to work hard and want to stick to the policies and procedures, I shouldn't be worried. But I feel end of day, everyone is still a human and they can still make mistakes. And that's what causes me worry sometimes.
Yeah. But that's normal, right? And maybe the advice you could give is don't expect that it's going to be worry-free, right? It's part of being a business owner.
It is part of course. I mean, there would be still problems, like, it's part of day-to-day business. There might be, because my stores are open till midnight almost. I might receive a call 4 a.m. from staff that our freezer is not working, or our menu screens are not working. I do have managers who can look after these things, but still sometimes they don't know what to do. They try to do all the troubleshooting, but it's still not working. Then they have no other choice but to call me at that time. And then I'm fortunate that my husband is kind of handy for these things, so he'll always pick up his toolkit and he'll drive to airport. And I would say he has this magical touch. He goes there and then he's like, "Oh, this was just one switch that you have to turn on. Now it's working fine." These are the things that that will happen. I think we cannot control them. That is just a part of doing business, and I'm prepared for these things to happen and how to handle these.
Well, I think you bring up an interesting point with your husband, the handyman there. I would imagine that when you make the decision to become a franchisee and a business owner, this is a family affair all of a sudden. It's not just Amarjeet doing it by herself, right? But this kind of takes, especially because of the hours it requires. Tell me about how you create that balance and that integration between being the best business owner you can be, but then also family and life. And what does that look like for you?
This is a great question. I would say, nothing is possible without family support. In 2006, when I decided to go with Jugar Juice, the first person I came to was my husband, Jag. And he was like, "Yeah, for sure, go for it." And at that time, he had another business. He had a transport business. So I started with the store. He used to come around 4 p.m. He would park his truck in airport parking and come to airport and help me with smoothie preparations.
That's awesome.
Till today, we talk about that and we laugh. He used to leave a note on his truck in the employee parking because those heavy trucks weren't allowed to be parked there. But he would come straight from work and he would park his truck and leave a note that, "This is my phone number. I'm working at Jugar Juice. Please give me a call if I need to move this truck." Luckily, it never happened. We never received a call from the authorities, from parking authorities. Maybe we were allowed to park there. But funny. This is how he did that for probably a year. And a year later, I decided, it was getting too much on me to handle things by myself, because there were many other things involved, especially when we were dealing with employee shortages at that time. So he decided to sell his transport business and join me at Jugar Juice. And it was then when I signed up for my second location, and it was the perfect time for us to work together as a team. Now, since then, me and Jag, we both are working as a team. Where this is what head office calls us. So he is a muscle for the business, and I'm the brain. I'm the brain, and so we both work as a team. Where I'm looking after certain things like admin part, dealing with meetings with head office and airport authority, where Jag is looking after other areas of business, like more towards the operational things, where we have a warehouse in the basement. He would order stock and maintenance of the equipment, lots of equipment at 5 stores, and he would look after all the equipment. This is why I said he has this magical touch where he would touch the freezer and he'll start working.
That's awesome. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
that just speaks to how important good partner. There's a lot of franchisees, of course, that go in as partners, and it sounds like in your case, the success came because you're two totally different people
of
with different.
course. Yes, yeah, it would have been possible without Jag, because I would say I could have done only so much. The push that I got from Jag, and of course the family support. My mother-in-law lives with us. It was a support from her. My son was only 3 years old at that time, and I had to be at airport every morning by 4 in the morning,
Gee,
and she used to take care of my son until 8 p.m. every day.
wow,
And not just that, she would even, cook by the time I'll come home. So I could not forget the support that she has given us.
wow, that's incredible. Now, what I want to do is I want you to kind of just run us through what does a daily routine look like for you today. So now the scenario here is you've been a successful franchisee for a long time. You've established some process, you've learned a lot along the way. So I acknowledge that's probably different than a day in the life back in 2008. But for you today, what does a typical day look like?
It is different now versus what I was doing in 2006. So I still go to work every day, visit my stores. First thing, I go look at my store. I stand in front of my store as a customer.
Oh,
What a customer would feel when he come to my store. Is everything in the delicates looking good? Is it full and fresh? Is the store giving a clean look? And is the staff in complete uniform and with a smile on their face? This is the first thing I check when I visit my stores. I visit all my stores every day, and then making sure, if my staff has any questions or queries, store managers, in case they need any support from me, sharing any new memos or menu that is going to be launched in coming days or weeks. This is what I kind of my daily routine is, other than my admin duties that I do, doing payroll for staff and dealing with the accountant, and of course making sure staff is following all the airport regulations. It is a little bit different
totally.
doing business at airport, because we have to follow many other regulations for stock security. When staff is taking stock behind security, we have to make sure we are following the measures that
Yeah.
we're supposed to do.
Yeah. So I guess for you, every day when you go to work, except for the arrivals location, you have to go through security, I guess, right?
Yes, yes.
That's great. That's funny. Now the difference between your daily routine today as compared to 2006, I imagine it's all those things you shared plus everything else. What has one of been one of the biggest changes in your role from 2006 to today?
Um, I would say that I'm not doing openings of the stores and closing of the stores by myself. I'm still there sometimes for opening time,
Yeah.
just to do a check if the stores are being opened on time, or just to support my staff. I'm there, and sometimes I'm there for the closing time as well, just to see if staff is doing what they're supposed to do, and of course if they need any support from me. Other than that, I would say things are still the same. I'm
Yeah.
I'm still working around the clock. My husband thinks I work too much, and I feel I am kind of workaholic.
Yeah.
Working for 16 plus years, I can't imagine myself without my Jugadoo stores. They're my soul.
It's an identity thing. I can tell that very clearly. Why don't you leave us with this? Just imagine that, maybe I was a potential candidate to open a new franchise, regardless of the brand, and I was considering if I wanted to do this. But let's say I'd made the decision that yes, I'm going to do it. What are one or two things that you would leave me with to best set me up for success?
I will say do what you're supposed to do. Just follow the policies and procedures that you have been given by franchisor, or because we all get like an operational binder. There's
Yeah.
lots of information in that.
Yeah.
Sticking with that, is a way to success.
Yeah.
And of course, having some discipline in life, having a target, having a goal. For example, when I opened my first location, I had this vision, I had this goal in my mind to have 5 Jugo Juice locations at the airport, one Jugo Juice in each concourse. Yeah. And I was able to achieve that in 2016 when I opened my 5th location.
And that's because you saw it, right? And you jotted it down and it made the goal. Yeah. That's awesome.
That's what I would say.
What's next for you? Is there a 6th location outside of the airport, or are you happy with your world as you've set it up today?
Yes, my goal is to have 2 more at airport.
Interesting. At the Calgary airport.
At Calgary airport, and again, this is I have added this to my vision now, as of last year. Yeah. And I hope this will happen. I'm working towards it. I'm really hopeful that this will happen.
That's great.
And maybe some more brands from MTY.
Oh, interesting. And is it just because of your experience with MTY and how things run and with the support you're given, you can see yourself in different brand scenarios based on that?
Yes, the support has been great. All the people at MTY, for example, Maria, Vice President for Jugo Juice, and Amar, they have been really helpful to me and supportive. I feel that MTY has been the best brand to me, and that's why I'm looking forward to have more brands with MTY in future. That's
great. Well, next time I'm in the airport, I'll drop by. I'll leave some positive reviews and all of that type of thing. And anyone listening, if you're in Calgary Airport, you got 5 locations to choose from. So make sure you go support. Thank you so much, Amarjeet. Great to hear your story.
Thank you so much for having me.
Stay tuned and get ready to feast your ears on Forks and Franchise presented by MTY Group. Subscribe now and let's embark on this flavorful adventure together.